welcome back. And as you can see, we've got a layer of snow on the ground at the moment, so that's going to make for some fun. Yeah, there was one thing that I thought I'd discuss with you people on this video. So I have a theory about Farming Simulator, and my theory, based on farming videos I've watched, it doesn't matter which version of Farming Simulator people are playing, my theory seems to hold true. But what I'm not sure about is whether it's just people that are recording farm sim videos that this is true for, or whether people who don't record videos, or record videos but don't also play on a different map that they're not recording on, whether my theory also holds true for those farms. So I'm going to share with you my theory, and I'd love to hear back from people whether they reckon I'm correct or not. Okay, now I'll just go and grab a tractor I'm going to be feeding cows, and since there's some snow on the ground, we're also going to be putting straw out in the fields for them as well today. But we'll probably not have time to put the straw out on camera, so that'll probably happen offline after I've finished recording. Anyway, my theory, I call it the 20-minute rule. I don't want to be quite as specific as saying it has to be 20 minutes, so I'm going to refer to it as my 20-minute rule, but I actually think it's between 15 and 30 minutes. And my theory is this, okay? Obviously when you're fertilising fields, unless you're spraying solid fertiliser, then if you're using liquid or solid fertiliser, just the bought stuff, or if you're spraying liquid stuff, you're doing about the same width of fertilising. Sorry, let me start that bit again. When you're doing fertiliser, I'm going this way. So the fertiliser spreaders seem to spray a much wider line each time than, say, ploughing fields and planting, seeders do, and even harvesters. But it seems to me that, with the exception of fertiliser sprayers, why have I got a strip of green there, I wonder? Don't know, that must have something to do with the expandable pastures mod, the way it's done. Anyway, so what I've noticed is that, with the exception of fertilising fields, when you're harvesting or seeding or ploughing or anything like that, people tend to have about the same width of equipment, give or take, for all of those tasks. But what I've noticed, this is what I'm calling my 20-minute rule, but as I said, if you want to get more exact, it's between 15 and 30 minutes. People tend to never ever want a paddock that's so big that it takes more than the 20 minutes to do. So, like, for example, if you're seeding a field, you want a field that takes 20 minutes, give or take, to seed. If you're ploughing the field, you want a field you can plough in 20 minutes, give or take. So the size of your equipment changes to suit the size of the fields. Now, it's obvious that people are going to have bigger equipment when they have bigger fields, and smaller equipment when they have smaller fields. But just the amount that the equipment seems to go up and down by seems to me that everybody's fields take about 20 minutes to do. Now, as I said, I'm not quite sure whether this is just people that are playing on YouTube because they found that 20 minutes is a good amount of time for a video to be doing one task, and if they're doing one task for more than 20 minutes, maybe people stop watching because they get bored, or whether it's a case of, like, I know myself that I tend to get quite tired if I'm doing a job that's taking more than about 20 minutes. Although I do suffer from sleep apnea, so that might be the reason I get tired. But yeah, I like a field to be able to be ploughed in 20 minutes, or thereabouts. I like a field that I can seed in about 20 minutes. Now, because this particular farm that we're on right now, which is Ballyspring, and it's the farm down in the, if I go to the map for a second, it's the farm down in the bottom corner there, the dark red farm. Although I've certainly modified it, I've turned some of the bigger paddocks into two, and things. You see, that's one of the things. People seem to change the size of the paddocks. You'll connect small fields together to make big ones. When you've got big equipment, you'll split big fields into small ones when you've got small equipment. But again, it always seems to fit this 20-minute theory that I have. So, yeah, for people that have a farm they don't record on, whether they don't do any recording for YouTube, or whether you do record on YouTube but you have a farm that's just for yourself to play on as well, that you don't do any videos on, I would love to hear whether your paddocks take about 20 minutes to work with each task except for spraying them. Spraying them I expect to take less, but every other task, yeah, I'd love to hear back whether you have 20-minute fields or not. I know I do. I have about, well, my one's about 15 minutes. But yeah, between 15 and 30. I've never seen anyone that has fields that take less than 15 minutes to plough or seed or roll or harvest or anything else like that. And I've never seen someone who's got fields so big and equipment that's not so big so that it takes more than 30 minutes. So, and if my theory is true, then it also stands to reason, since anyone that's sold crops in this game will be well aware that once you start selling something, you've got to sell it all in that same hour, because at the turn of the hour, so like we're at 10 past 11 right, 11 minutes past 10 right now. So if I had silos on this farm, which I don't because this isn't a crop farm, if I had silos and I started selling, let's say I started selling corn right now for example, you could guarantee that at 11 o'clock on the clock here, the price of corn, the value of corn would go down dramatically, and me starting to sell it is what causes that. So when you start selling a crop, you've got to sell as much of that crop as you can within the 1 hour game time. Now of course if you made your time go at half speed, it would give you 2 hours to do it. If your game time was at times 2, it would only give you half an hour to do it. But within the 1 hour game time, you've got to sell as much of that crop as you can once you start selling any particular crop, because you selling it triggers that crop go down in price. And so again, so because the crop price drops after that first hour, I've found that actually having larger fields and therefore having more of each crop to sell each time doesn't necessarily make you loads and loads more money, because you're simply not selling it all within that first hour, because even with the biggest of trucks to take your crop down to the market with, you just can't get too much of it sold in 1 hour game time, so you end up not making all that much money. So from my experience, why is my tractor not moving all of a sudden? Have I put that too high, have I? Oh, the battery's gone flat on my steering wheel, I think. Or I just turned it off accidentally. That's okay, we'll find out whether my batteries went flat in it or not, and I'll change them if I need to. It's alright. So yeah, that's so having small fields and selling small amounts of crop, it means you're selling them all before the price starts to drop. Plus, additionally, the equipment you're buying is a lot cheaper, both to run, in terms of fuel, the purchase price, and even the daily running costs. So I actually think that, like in my farm, I've got very, very small tractors. Every tractor on my farm here comes under the small category tractor, the small tractor category. And so I've also got very small equipment, and it means that when I'm working fields, I do have a couple of fields that I work, as you probably know, over by Furry Machine Gaming and AUK's houses. I've got 2 fields behind their houses, and so I do work those. I actually think that in the long run, because I'm spending less money on my equipment, so I don't have big tractors and things, I actually probably make money almost as fast as someone that has huge fields and big equipment. I am not counting forestry or anything like that here, but I'm talking about people that are doing just pure farming, like selling crops and things. I don't think you actually make money faster with bigger fields, even though you have more crops to sell, just because the price of all your equipment's a lot more expensive. So therefore, oh look, there's flat batteries in my steering wheel because I just switched itself off again. So we'll just change that, then we'll go on. But yeah, therefore, you can choose whatever size equipment and whatever size fields and whatever size farm suits you, and your farm's going to be about equally as profitable. It's not going to change because you've got smaller tractors or anything. That's my theory, and as I said, you know, as you get bigger fields, you get bigger equipment, so it still takes the same amount of time to actually work your fields, 20 minutes per field. So yeah, I'd absolutely love to hear if other people agree with my 20-minute theory there or not. So there you go, that one's done. I've got new batteries in my steering wheel now, so I won't have any more problems like that. Was it turning itself off? Yes. Actually, I probably didn't even need to go out of this field. I could have cut through the gate to get to the next one, but I've left it now, so we'll just go down to the next one normally. I am wanting to put in one extra gate in my farm at the moment. I decided a couple of days ago, and I haven't got around to doing it, and I shall show you in a minute. In fact, we'll just come down here, put a gate down here someplace. There it is, there it is. I've just overshot it, haven't I? Yep, that's alright. Okay, so if I go to the map for a second, so if we zoom in here, what I've done is field 255, I've split into two. You can see the small line there. And field 253, I've split into two. Now I've put gates in coming off this track here into the two new fields, and I've got gates between the original field, you know, between the two halves of what were the big field. But I also want to put a gate in down here between the right hand side of field 253 and the left hand side of 255. So I'm going to be putting a gate in there, so that'll be the hedge that, oh that didn't work, did it? Let's try that again. So this gate that we're going through right now is one that I added in because this is the second half of that field. I've split into two. You can see as I come in here, I shall show you. So this hedge that's on the left here with the gate in it, I put that hedge in, and the hedge to my right was already on the farm, but the next one across from that I also put in, and it also has a gate because again I split that field into two. So I'm just going to put a gate in connecting this field to the next one down the hill. That hedge there, I want to put a gate in that one across there. So that'll be my next job on this farm, and I'll probably do that this winter. Generally, with the winters, I pretty much fast forward through them, just keeping the animals fed on the way. The one thing I have been doing every single winter is that's when I do all the repairs and maintenance on not just vehicles like tractors, but on all my trailers and everything. Basically anything that's below 95% condition I will repair in the winter up to, okay, so that's now got a bit slippery there and threw me off course a bit. I'll repair them up to 100%. So therefore every winter everything gets done up to 100% unless it's already above 95%, and then I don't bother generally. So, and then normally, I say normally, nothing needs repairing again until the following winter. Occasionally, like if I'm using one tractor a lot for some reason, then I might have to do a repair job on a tractor between, you know, halfway through the year, between winter and winter. So in like the middle of summer I might have to do a repair job on a tractor if I use one tractor excessively. But generally speaking, as a general rule, everything gets through from one winter to the next, as long as I remember to do repair jobs every winter. Okay, now in typical normal fashion for me, I forgot to set a timer when I started this video, so I have absolutely no idea how long I've been playing for, and so I have no idea how long this video is already. But we might just feed the next lot of cows and then we'll call it a day. But yes, I would really enjoy hearing back from you all as to whether the farms that you farm on that you're not recording on, or even ones you are recording on as well, whether you fit my 20-minute rule of, as I said, a field taking between 15 and 30 minutes to do any task except for spraying. Spraying will always take less than that, but every other task I find takes about the same amount of time in a field because you end up using the same sort of width of equipment. So yeah, whether your farm size and your field size has been matched to your equipment size so that it takes between 15 minutes and 30 minutes to do any task in a field. Okay, got that one in. And I'll load up the next bale, so I'll do I've got 4 cow paddocks to do before I put in that gate, but I'll do 2 of them off camera and just do 2 of them on camera here. So there we go. And I think I did mention a couple of videos ago that on this particular map here that I'm playing on, which is Valley Spring, it doesn't snow every single winter. It only snows, so that gate that's on the right of me right now, I put in that one as well. That one doesn't come on the map. And this next one that we're heading up to on the right, I also put in. It's just, I want to put a gate in between these 2 paddocks, the one that we're going into now and the one that I just went past a moment ago. But yeah, because it doesn't snow every single winter, and it doesn't, even when it does snow, it's not too thick. So as you can see, there's a small thing of snow on the ground, but it's not too thick to get the tractors through, and that's why my cows are still out in the fields. They're not in a barn. That's how I've got this farm set up. So even when the fields are covered in snow, I leave the cows out in the fields. They're not up on the hills where the snow is thicker, and I can't get the tractors up onto the hills in winter. They simply haven't got enough power to get up there when you load on them, which is why I've got the cows down here on the flat at the moment and not up on the hills. So if I stop here to shut the gate, you can see up there, so my fields go up there, up onto the hills further, and I simply cannot, my tractors aren't powerful enough to pull a food trailer up onto the hills or anything, which is why I bring the cows down onto these flat paddocks, or flatter, during the winter months. And yeah, so we'll call that a day now. I'll just empty my trailer into this field. There we go. And yeah, I hope you're all having a good weekend. It's Sunday afternoon for me, so it must be Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening for most of you. So I hope you're all having a great weekend, and I will catch up with you all again later. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye.